What's up, y'all? Professor Hurley here. Couldn't get enough of bone from my last video? Wait, you didn't see the last video? If you didn't, check out the description section below and you can find that video where I talk all about bone physiology. Inside of this video, we're going to continue our conversation in anatomy. If you're new to this channel, we talk all about anatomy, microbiology, and principles of biology. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so you can find my other videos more easily and continue to visit with me as I release more videos on these topics. This episode is going to serve as a short introduction to how the endocrine system regulates bone remodeling. Let's start this video with what it's actually about, and that is calcium. Calcium is one of the most important minerals in our body. Calcium enables bone to repair and replace itself. It also influences our nervous system's ability to send messages throughout the body and is essential for muscles to contract. Blood calcium levels are tightly controlled to ensure the body maintains calcium homeostasis. Calcium levels in our blood are typically around 9 to 10 milligrams per deciliter. These calcium blood levels can increase when we consume and absorb excess calcium in our diet and when osteoclasts break down bone. Calcium blood levels can decrease when we excrete it into the feces and urine, as well as when osteoblasts build bone. There are three primary hormones that influence blood calcium levels: calcitonin, parathyroid hormone, also abbreviated as PTH, and calcitriol. When our blood becomes hypercalcemic, our bodies release calcitonin to reduce it. I remember this because calcitonin tones down blood calcium levels. However, if our blood calcium level falls, then PTH and calcitriol get released to raise it back up. But how do these chemicals actually do this? Well, they start by modifying the osteoblast and osteoclast activity, and then they influence how much calcium gets excreted or reabsorbed in our small intestines and our kidneys. Let's take a closer look at each of these pathways. Let's start our example off at homeostasis. In homeostasis, blood calcium levels are approximately 9.1 to 10.4 milligrams per deciliter. If you take a multivitamin, you may increase your overall blood calcium. Your thyroid gland recognizes this, and in order to correct the balance, it secretes a hormone called calcitonin. Calcitonin has three primary effects. At the site of bone itself, it increases osteoblast activity and decreases osteoclast activity. Collectively, this results in calcium getting deposited into bone. Additionally, at the small intestines, calcitonin results in a decrease in the amount of calcium that gets absorbed. And then lastly, at the kidneys, calcitonin reduces the reabsorption of calcium. Collectively, all three of these result in a decrease in blood calcium levels, restoring it back to homeostasis. But what would happen if instead of your blood calcium levels going up, what would happen if your blood calcium levels went down? Well, your parathyroid gland recognizes the decrease in blood calcium and releases PTH, parathyroid hormone. PTH, like calcitonin, can affect blood calcium in three primary ways. First, at the bones, it increases osteoclast activity and decreases osteoblast activity. Collectively, those two things result in calcium coming out of bone. Like calcitonin, parathyroid also acts at the small intestines, but its effect is the opposite. It increases calcium reuptake. And then lastly, at the kidneys, the effect is the opposite as well. Parathyroid hormone results in an increase in the reabsorption of blood calcium. Collectively, all of these would result in an increase in blood calcium, restoring us back to homeostasis. You probably noticed we left calcitriol out of the conversation. Another name for calcitriol is vitamin D. You may remember that vitamin D gets synthesized from a multiple-step pathway that starts in your skin and ends in your kidney. It is at the kidneys and the small intestines that calcitriol has its effect. It increases the uptake of calcium in both areas to avoid it from being lost from the body. Now you can see that your body goes through several steps to ensure your blood calcium levels are maintained so that our bodies can function correctly. It was great to get to talk to y'all again. Thanks for stopping by, and see y'all next time.